Tough win, and you're just happy to get out of it, and this one especially. I mean, we just, I'm sitting there kicking myself at halftime, wondering what the excuses are here, but we didn't have a lot of life early. This time of year, guys get tired, and we actually went mornings 3 straight days because of classes, and 7 a.m., and 8:30 this morning, and it just didn't seem like we had a lot of life, and I was kicking myself for doing that. I even made James Ennis go to class till 6:15 because it's his last class to graduate, and that's a huge priority, with this time of year. And we just, we didn't have a lot of energy, and this is not a team not to have that, not to be able to locate people. But as a mark of a good team, the second half, they dictated that into the floor. To hold them without a 3 the second half after the way they played the first half was a great accomplishment. And, I think Davis is, probably the most, has the best offense in the league, and I thought the second half, our energy improved and we were able to pull it out. And Tony and Keala really, gave us a big lift offensively in the second half.
Did that come out of the run of play, or was that purposeful to get them the ball and see what they can do?
Well, we try to get, Keala's our best at getting in the middle of the zone. So they're zoning us for 40 minutes, and we ran a lot of sets to try to get Keala in the middle because he's strong, he can finish, and he can pass in there, so that was key. And then we went kind of small some, but we left Tony down on the block, and he was just more assertive and aggressive in the second half, and it just again, this team feeds off their defense. The aggressiveness of the defensive end, I think, really showed on the offensive end too down the stretch.
Dan, like you just said, you didn't play your best tonight, but what do you take from a game like this where you come back and you do get the win? You're down by 11 points early in the second half.
Well, I think I've been hard on this team, challenging them about their character and their competitiveness and all that. And you take, these guys are winners. I mean, you got to find different ways to win, to be a winner. And these guys are doing that, and I have to give them more credit. I think they're really learning how to stay together, through adversity, and through bad halves or bad plays, and go on to the next one. And I think they're really growing as a team, and I think we're getting better as the season progresses.
Did you say anything to them at halftime, Coach?
Yeah, I said, I really, this time of year, throwing water coolers and stuff, it doesn't work. I mean, they're tired of that, I think I came in, I just said, to the seniors, is this really how you're going to end it? They've never lost a game, and you're really going to, it's one thing to have your last league game and come out and lose, but to lose because somebody's in here playing harder and has more energy than you, that's unacceptable. And you know what? The second half you can live with. If we would have ended up losing it, it would have been because of the first half. The second half, we were better competitors. We took the game to them, but it was almost too late. You just don't dig a hole like that against a team that has that much firepower, and they really do. I mean, that's a very solid team.
You guys seem to be rotating, switching a little bit on Hawkins pretty much for the whole game, but just talk about the defensive strategy. George Sammy only had 2 field goals in the second half.
Well, Keala knows him better than anybody because he was at Arizona State with him, and he's just he's a quality player. I'm sure he'll be an all-league player. He's leading the league in scoring, and he's got a very green light for them, the way they play, and he's a handful. I mean, he's not just a 3-point shooter. He can bounce the ball. He's great free throw shooter. And he draws fouls, and we started Keala on him. We put Mike on him. We put James on him, and I really thought, the key was that Keala lost him a couple times in the first minute or two. And when you let a player like that get in a flow like he was after 2 minutes, it's going to be a long day. But to our guy's credit, the second half he had to earn everything. I mean, he got a couple in the last 6 seconds, but the Second half, his numbers were a lot different than the first when, you know, he was running free, and we were just more switching on him more and just more alert. You know, again, I don't have the excuse for it, but our alertness and our energy the first half was just not there.